Hi friends, welcome to another training session. My name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm so stoked to have you here. If you are new, maybe you're trying this out for the first time, you've come to an excellent session. If you are returning, welcome back. You will also be at an excellent session. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that these videos are recorded on the stolen lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Sovereignty never was and never will be ceded, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Also, I want to thank Drum and Street Services and Queer Space for doing the rad things, partnering up with us so that we can make all of this happen. Yes! Alrighty. Let us begin. We're going to start with a warm-up because it's always good to limber up before we start moving. And we're starting at the top here. We're going to work down through all of our joints, loosen ourselves up. We're starting with our necks now. So we're going to take our ear and bring it down towards our shoulder. And then we're going to come back and we're going to go to the other side. We're going to alternate left and right for 10 each side. So that's 3, 4, it's 5, 6, 7, making sure we're keeping our shoulders down. 8, they tend to want to creep up. We don't want that to happen. 9, one more. And 10. Glorious. Taking our chin now, and we're going to reach it up towards the roof. And we're going to tuck it down to our collarbone here. We're going to go 10 up and 10 down. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Amazing. Taking our chin now, we're going to bring it around to our right collarbone and then to our left. We're going to go 10 alternating left and right here. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Just getting as far as you can get here. There's no forcing it. 7. We definitely don't want our necks to get forced into positions they don't want to go into. Let's go 9. One more. 10. Amazing. Moving down to our shoulders now. We have 2 options here. If you're someone with tricksy shoulders, we're going to do more of a shrug. And you're going to use your elbow here as a little bit of leverage to kind of work that shrug around, bringing your elbow to the height that feels comfortable for you. If you are someone whose shoulders don't mind a bit of bigger movement, we're going to keep our arms straight and we're going to circle the whole way around, bringing our arm back past our ear. Whatever variation you want to do, we're going to do 10 backwards and then 10 forwards, and then we're going to swap sides. We're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to demonstrate the straight arm variation, but remember, shrugging, totally okay. Work with where you are at. Let's go backwards, right hand side. 1, 2. If you're doing a straight arm, you can allow for a little bit of rotation through the hips here. Totally okay. Let your body move naturally with the arm circle to however it wants to do that. That's about 9. One more. 10. That's it. We're going to bring it forwards now. 1. And you might find that it moves differently in either direction. Okay, that's okay. Doing well. It's about 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alrighty, let's swap sides. Nice and smooth. We're not swinging here. We're actually intentional circles the whole way. We want control the whole way around. 7, 8, 9, 10, and let's go back the other way. 2, nice and smooth. You might notice clicks and pops. Totally okay, so long as it's not painful. Doing well. That's about 8, 9, and 10. Glorious. Moving down now to our wrists, we're going to just bend our elbows and tuck them to our sides. We're going to look at our palms and we're going to circle them towards us for 10. It's nice, smooth, slow circles. It's about 8, 9, 10, close enough. And we go back the opposite way. That's it. Well done. Moving down to our hips now, we're going to take our hands and we're going to put them on our hips. Our feet are going to be somewhere probably just a little bit wider than where our hips are at because we want to have a nice stable base here. We don't want to tip over because what we're going to do now are hip circles. So we're going to press our hips forward as far as you can. You can have a little bend in your knee here, totally okay. We're going to push it out to the side, circle around, stick our butts out the back. Might feel a bit weird, it's okay. Coming back around to the right and then back around to the front. Bing, that's 1. So we're going to go do 10. And then we're going to swap sides and do 10 in the other direction. So that's 2, 3, just circling as much as you can here, making sure your chest isn't doing too much of the moving. It can drop a little bit, but we really want to focus on most of the movement coming through our hips here. And sometimes it takes a little bit to separate that. That's about 8, 2 more, 9, 1 more, and 10. And then we're going to go back the other way. That's it, nice and slow. Just breathing, doing well. Noticing that you might have some differences between the sides, and that's okay. That's it, that's about 7, 8, 9, 1 more, and 10. Good job. Doing well. We're going to take our feet now, we're going to put them together or a little bit apart. Whatever feels more comfortable for you, just work with where you're at. Hands, we're going to gently rest on top of our knees here. We're not putting weight on them. We're just gently resting our hands because it gives them a job. And we're going to dip our knees and we're going to gently circle around to the right, straighten our legs up, dip them around to the left. And that's 1 knee circle. We're going to do 10 in one direction, 10 in the other. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to go back the other way. 1. That's it, nice and smooth. 2, 3. Not pushing too wide here. Our knees don't move hugely in a sideways direction. So we want to keep it nice and controlled. That's about 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Final joint circle is the ankles. So if you need to hold something for a bit of stability here because balancing on one foot might be a little bit tricksy for you, find what you need and what works for you. It could be the back of the couch, resting on a bench, a wall, like holding a broomstick, just something that gives you a bit of support on the opposite side to what you're standing on. So we want to replace that stability on this lifted leg side. And we're going to do 10 circles inwards. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to reverse that. 1, 2, just nice and slow. 4. Imagine you're using the tips of your toes to draw a circle. 8, 9, 10. And we're going to swap sides and do exactly the same thing on our opposite side. Remember shifting that stabilizing thing if you need it to the side that your lifted foot is on. Let's go inwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back the other way. You might notice that you have a little bit of different balance on each side. And that's about 10. Different balance on the different sides. It's totally normal. It's okay. We're going to do some squats now. So we're going to bring our feet just probably a little bit wider than your hips, toes slightly outwards, but find the spot that works for you. We all have different hips, so they're all going to be different in how we squat. There's no one way to squat. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they just don't know. So find that foot position that works for you. Usually a little bit wider than hip width. Toes are going to be slightly outward angle. We're going to bring our hands up and stick them in front of our chest here because it gives them a job and helps keep our chest up as we squat. And you're going to put your hips back like you're going to sit down in a chair and come down just as low as you can. So there's no standard for how low you can go. Just where you're at is perfect. And we're going to do 10. Making sure as you come down, let your knees push outwards to the direction that your toes are going. That's it. It's 5, 6, doing well, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Well done. Bring your feet a little bit wider. We're going to do what is called a Cossack. Now, definitely for this one, working within your limits. If you feel it's a little bit too tricky, totally okay to skip as well. You can just watch me do it. That is fine. If you want to give it a go though, you're going to take your left leg, you're going to bend that knee and shift your weight over to the left. As you do, you're just going to pull your right toes up and just bend that knee as far as you feel comfortable. You're going to feel a bit of a stretch up through the inside of your leg here. I'm going to swap sides. We're going to alternate left and right for 10. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing. Alrighty, friends. Taken down to the floor. I will meet you down there. Here we are, friends. On the floor. We are going to continue our warm-up. We're going to come over onto our stomachs. We're going to take our hands and put them under the fronts of our shoulders here. Tops of our feet are going to rest on the floor. We're going to slowly straighten our arms up just as much as we can. You do not have to get to completely straight arms. Wherever you are at is perfect. We're going to slowly work on getting a little bit of a stretch through our spine here, keeping your hips as close to the floor as you can. So you don't want your body to be stiff. You don't want to come up on your knees. Hips stay down. Otherwise, we're not getting that movement through our spine, which is really what we're aiming for right now. That's about 5. That's it. 6. Nice and slow. 7. This one might feel some really different sensations through your back, and that's okay. It can really do that through the mid-back section if you're not used to this. That's about 10. Amazing. Coming up onto our hands and knees. We're going to take our hands, we're going to spin them around, plop them flat on the ground, fingertips facing our knees. We're going to sit back onto our heels as much as we can. That feels comfortable for each of us. And we're just going to hold this, stretching up through the insides of your forearms. I'm breathing right now, trying not to collapse down. Say I'm nice and tall. I'm going to hold this for around 30 seconds. It'll be a loose count. That's it. Doing really well. Just noticing where the sensation may be coming up for you as well. It's really taking that time and just being like, oh, how does this feel? Where am I feeling it? That's interesting. It's about 30 seconds. I'm going to flip it over. We're going to put the tops of our hands on the floor, facing our fingertips to our knees, and get them into a position where we feel the stretch up the outsides of our forearms right now. You might notice that you feel some sensations in your fingers or in your palms. That's okay. Sometimes it can be some really strange feelings. That is totally okay. But just you have control over the sensations that you're feeling here. So if you need to ease it off a bit, bring your hands closer to your knees and it's going to reduce that stretch for you. So work with where you're at, always. Just because I'm demonstrating one way doesn't mean you have to do it that way, because our bodies all work differently. So you work with what feels good for you. It's very important to remember. That's it. That's about 30 seconds. Coming up onto our hands and knees now. Hands are going to be under our shoulders, knees under our hips, as best as we can feel that out without really seeing ourselves. We're going to shift around to the right. We're going to circle forward, around to the left, sit back towards our heels, and we're going to do some nice slow circles here. We're going to do 5 in one direction, and then we're going to do 5 in the other. I think that's about 3. Let's do 2 more. 4. That's 5. And then we're going to swap sides. Nice and slow. That's it. One more. Perfect. Well done, friends. Now we are all warmed up, ready to jump in to our session. Alrighty, friends, here we are, our first interval. We have 3, 7-minute intervals to work through today. Now, these are not going to be fast-paced, as many as we can. We're cruising through nice and steady. It's all about controlled movements. So I'm going to demonstrate, but I'm also going to start the timer as we do it. We're going to work through these together as we go. So I'm going to use my magical green wristwatch right here to start us off for our time. And we're going to pop straight into it. I'm going to demonstrate the movements as we go. Buzz. Alrighty, we're starting with what is called a monkey hop. So we're going to get down into as low of a squat as we can, wherever that is for you. If your butt's a bit higher up, that is okay. Work with where you're at. We're going to take our left hand, line it up with our right toes, and we're just going to hop across. Line it up, hop across. Nice little hops here. This is all we're doing. Hopping our feet. If you need to and you're a little bit higher up, stepping is okay as well. Just working with where you're at. Let's do 2 more hops. Nice. Next up we have, Spider-Person planks. So you might be wondering what a Spider-Person plank is. Well, friends, we're going to get into either a tall plank on our toes. We can do it on the floor. You can use a bench or a couch, something that elevates you a little bit to take the angle off. You can go from your knees, whatever you feel good about. And we're going to just bring our knee up as close to our elbow as we can get it. Just like this. Nice and slow. And we're doing just that many, just 6 of them. And then we're going to finish it off by standing up. And we're going to do a squat hold as low as you can go. So we're going to set our feet up. Mentally prepare ourselves for the squat hold. And then you're going to squat down as low as you comfortably can. And we're going to hold it for just 10 seconds. Doing well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up, you can use your hands on your legs there. Help yourself pop up out of that. Well done. They are our 3 exercises. Coming back down to the floor because we have our monkey hops. So finding that end of the space that you have, we're just going to do 1 hop, 2 hop. And just remember working with where you're at. If you find this one's a bit much, you can also skip it. There's no requirement for you to do any of these exercises if you don't feel good about it. So really working with where you're at. Coming over now, we have our Spider-Person planks. Again, if you need to use an incline, if you need to go from your knees, totally okay. If you prefer to just hold a plank, also totally okay. If you feel like giving yourself the challenge, finding that position that works for you, we're going to go for 6. Bringing our knee up as close to our elbow as we can. Coming right out to the side, imagining like we are like Spider-Man on a wall or something like that. Coming up now We have our squat hold going as low as we can. 10 seconds. We can do this. Setting our feet up, mentally preparing. Hands come up in front of the chest because it helps keep our chest up. And let's go as low as we can. And just holding, you're doing really well. If you need to stand up out of this at any point before the time ends, feel good about that. There is no requirement coming up, no requirement to do anything here that you don't feel comfortable doing. Monkey hops. All right. Rolling the sleeves up for this one. We mean business. Squatting down as low as you feel comfortable to get to. Again, it doesn't matter how low that is. It definitely does not have to be this. Alrighty, if all you're getting to is here and you can do this, perfect, friend, you are winning. We're going to do 2 one way, 2 the other way, and then 1 more 2 to the starting side. Amazing. Coming over to our Spider-Man, Spider-Person planks. Hands under our shoulders. Finding that position that works for us. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Knees come down. Making our way to standing. For our low squat. Doing really well. We've got less than 2 minutes to go. So we're just cruising through here. Resting as you need as well. Don't feel like you've got to work continuously the whole way through this. No. You can take a break whenever you feel good about taking a break. Popping back in whenever you're ready. Alrighty. 10-second squat hold. Let's go as low as we can. See if you can challenge yourself to really sit down into this. It is not comfortable for anyone. That's it. Slowly coming up out of it. Nicely done. Alrighty. Monkey hops. Getting our monkey on. Why not? Finding that position that works for you. Let's go. 1, 2. It doesn't have to be big hops either here. So just shifting our weight onto our hands gently, lightening our feet, and getting that little shift across, that little foot shuffle. That's all we're looking for. Trying something new. Got our Spider-Person planks now. Hands come to under our shoulders. Stepping ourselves out. Remember, this can be from an incline, it can be from our knees, whatever works for you. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nicely done. What's next, Blackboard? Squat holds, yes. Oh, we might be finishing strong in our squat holds here, I think. Finding our foot position. Setting ourselves up. Alrighty. Let's go. Last 10 seconds to finish this round off. It's in our squat hold. That's the way. This is it. Last squat hold of the day. With me, anyway. And coming up out of that. Well done, friends. That is 7 minutes. Done. So good. Have a breather. Have a sip of water. We're back. We have 2 more 7-minute rounds to get through. I'm really looking forward to jumping into them with you. Welcome back, friends. We are starting this next interval on the floor. So if you're not down on the floor already, come join me. We have 3 exercises to work through. As with the first interval, we're going to work through them together as I explain it. We're going to start this round off. And we are starting down here on the floor with another plank variation. You're probably going, Bowie, why all these plank variations? Because they are good for us, friends. Work through this one however suits you. Let's start the clock. Buzz. Now remember, you can go from an incline, from a bench, from a wall, anything that works for you here. From your knees, I'm going to demonstrate from my toes. We're going to come into our tall plank position. We're going to step out, out, in, out, out, in. That's it. Doing well. 2 more. Last one. Nice. Just little steps and whatever feel good for you. Oh, no big giant movements here. Little shifts here. Just getting our hands used to moving and bearing weight, because that's always a good thing. 6 lunge steps. Now, standing up nice and tall. We're going to take our right foot. We're going to step it back. We're going to bring our knee down as close to the floor as feels good for us. Step forward, just nice and slow. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 more, and 6. Well done. Really good. We're finishing off back down on the floor for a crab hold. Now, we've done little crab steps before. If you're trained with me in the past, you may have come across that session. If you are new to it, we're going to hop into this position right here, like we're casually relaxing on the beach. Then, what we're going to do is just lift our hips up. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. That's it. Keeping our butt just as high up off the ground as we can. Doing really well. You're almost there. And relaxing. Nice work. So they are our 3 exercises. We are going to start again from the top with our plank hand step outs. So finding that plank position that feels good for you. Setting ourselves up. That's it. Alrighty, let's go. We're going to step it out. We're going to step it in. I like to alternate the hands that I step out. So like left steps out, left steps in. Right steps out, right steps in. Left steps out, left steps in. And I think that's 6. If not, it was close enough. Alrighty, coming over to our lunge steps now. We have 6 to work our way through. Standing up nice and tall. We take that step back. Bring our knee down as close to the floor as feels good for us. And then we swap. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. If you need something here to help you balance, totally use that. Whatever it is, it could be the side of your chair, kitchen bench. There is nothing wrong with using those things that help you move a bit more comfortably. That's what we want here. Be as comfortable as you can. I think I was 6. As comfortable as you can while doing some things that are a little bit uncomfortable. Coming down on the floor because we have our crabby holds. Here we are again. Alrighty. And let's go. Just breathing, doing well. And relaxing. 10 seconds. That goes so fast. Back at the top, over onto our fronts. Remember, resting as you need here, friends. We're not trying to pump our way through this super fast. Just slowly working through at a pace that feels good for each of us, because we're all going to be different in that. And when you're ready, we're going to find that plank position that's comfortable for us. Hands under the shoulders. Body as long as you feel good with. And we're going to step out, in, out, in. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. That's it. Lunge steps is next, isn't it, Blackboard? It is. Alrighty, we're standing up. Nice and tall. Hands in front of the chest. Our right foot steps back, comes down, steps back up, and we swap sides. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Lovely. Making our way back down to the floor for our crab holds. 10 seconds of crabby holding. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Lifting our hips up, our butts up off the floor as high as we can. Staying as crunched up as you feel good about too. 2, 1, and relaxing. Nice. We have less than 2 minutes to go, pals. Doing really great right now. Remember, resting as you need. You don't have to go through every exercise continually. Just work within your limits. Do the exercises that feel good for you. If you don't feel good about it, don't do it, or don't do it every round. That is okay. When we're ready, we're finding that plank position. I'm going to step it out and in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Lunge steps. So we stand up, making our way to standing, and however we are able to do that, we have 60 seconds to go. Yes, doing well. Right foot steps back, comes down nice and slow, swapping sides. That's 3, 4, 5, one more, and 6. Well done. Yes. Crabby holds. Down onto the floor. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crabby holds, thinking. Just breathing. Just holding, keeping your butt up as high off the ground as you feel good about. And relaxing. We have 20 seconds. We can get these plank step outs. Spider persons was last time. Alrighty, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. And that finishes our round. Buzz. Well done. That is 2 intervals down. We have just 1 more to get through. Have a drink, have a breather, and we'll get straight back into it. Cruise through this last interval. Alrighty, friends. See you in a moment. Here we are, friends. Our final 7 minutes. We're starting on the floor, so if you're not down on the floor, please come and join me. And we are going to get started. As with the other 2 intervals, I will be starting the clock and we'll be working through a demonstration together. So I'm going to get myself into position. We're going to start that timer, buzz, and we are going to begin. We're starting with a crawl. Now, if you have done sessions with me before, you'll notice that I pop these in every now and then. They are one of my favorite movements. I'm going to start on hands and knees. And you're just going to hover your knees up off the floor as high as you can. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3 steps forward and then backwards. Here's the tricky part. 2, 3 steps backwards. Nice. Just working with where you're at with those ones. If you feel like you need to do more of just hands and knees on the floor and just getting used to that opposite hand and leg movement, totally okay. Coming up, we are doing sumo squat with a little twist. Now, whatever you feel good here, you can either hop or you can step out. But what we want to do is hop our feet wide, squat down low, hop our feet together. But if you can't hop, you're going to step, squat, step. And then we're just going to work like that. Alrighty? We have 6 to work through. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more, 6. Nice. That was great. Finishing off back down on the floor. Getting up and down is so good for us. It's why we do it so much in these sessions. Now on hands and knees here. We're going to take, again, opposite hand and leg. Left hand stretches out. Right hand stretches out. And then just back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Glorious. And we're back at the start, ready for our crawls. Alrighty, finding that starting position that feels good for you. Setting yourself up, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Lifting those knees up to hover just a little bit. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And then backwards. 1, 2, 3. The trick with those is to not take big steps with your legs. Our legs want to take big steps, but then our feet catch up to our heads and we end up in a little bit of a tricky situation. So, small steps with the feet makes things easier. We're doing our sumo squats, remember, with our step out or our hop out. Let's go. 1, 2. Noticing I'm landing before I go into that squat. So I land, then I squat because I want control. I'm not just going to drop straight down into my squat. That can be one more. Can be a little bit out of control. Leads us to more risk of injuring ourselves. We don't want that. What do we got next? Diagonal knee to elbow. Thank you, Blackboard. On our hands and knees. Reaching out our opposite, so our left arm, our right leg, and then we swap. Right arm, left leg. Just alternating left and right. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well done. Remember, resting as you need here. You're not having to work through this in one continual flow if that's not what feels good for you. And when you're ready, coming into our crawls. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, lifting your knees up as much as you feel good about, and little baby steps with those feet. That's 3 forwards, and 3 backwards. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Well done. Sumo squats, hops, or step outs. Back at these already. Alrighty, we hop wide, we control, then we squat. We come back, we hop, we control, then we hop back out. Control is more important than how many times we do one of these squats. It's 3, 4, 5, one more. And 6. Well done. Coming down to the floor for our diagonal extensions. Hands are under our shoulders, knees are under our hips. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. So making those opposites work for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nice. That's it, less than 90 seconds to go, friends. Doing really well here. Bringing ourselves back for our crawls. Finding that position that feels good for you. And when you're ready, 3 steps forwards. 1, 2, 3. 3 steps backwards. 1, 2, 3. Well done. Coming up for our sumo squats. Feet together. Here we go. Hop it wide, control, drop it down, bring it back up, hop it back up. Always step. Whatever way you choose is perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hop. Nice. Diagonal extensions. I think this is going to finish us off too. Perfectly timing. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. Perfect. Buzz. And we are done, friends. That is 3 7-minute intervals. We took our time, we worked with control, and that is what is most important. A movement done quickly is not going to be as beneficial for us as a movement that we do slowly and safely and with control in our body that is using as many muscles as we can to help us get into that position. Because the more muscles we're using in our bodies, the more our body is working, and overall, the more we can develop stability in our body, which is great for preventing slips, trips, and falls. And we develop better postural strength, which helps us stay upright. Both really important things, particularly as we begin to get older, because it happens. You may not think about it when you're younger, but as you get older, it happens. So we need to really work on keeping our bodies as stable as we can as we get older, so that way down the track when we're much older, we'll thank our younger selves because they did the right thing for future us. Alrighty, friends, have a drink of water. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are at, and I really look forward to seeing you at our next session. Alrighty.